What's up, Nerdyverse? I'm Daddy Louie, and in this video, we are going to be building and modding a DETOLF Ikea cabinet. So stick around. It's the crisis that all tabletop gamers have faced at least once in their lifetime. You spend weeks, blood, sweat, and tears to make these beautiful models come to life, and then they end up in a bag or in your basement or in a box, and they hardly ever see the light of day. Well, in this video, what I hope to do is to create a way for you to cheaply and I guess artistically display your miniatures and tabletop game pieces, or honestly, you could use this for anything small in size, 3 3/4 inch action figures, whatever it is that you collect. We're going to look at how to make a cabinet on a budget that is functional for your purposes. So a little disclaimer before we get started. I have actually built one of these DETOLF cabinets before. I've actually owned a couple of them in the past. They're really useful, and they're kind of like the go-to cabinet for collectors pretty much around the world. So as you can see from the pictures I'm throwing up on screen now, they're great to stuff a lot of things in. They get kind of jam-packed, and the reason that we're going to be modding it today is because there's a lot of dead space in some of the cabinet areas or some of the openings if you have smaller things inside of each compartment, I guess you could say. You can see that the instructions say that the inside of each cubby is about 15-16 inches. So if you're only displaying something that's a couple inches tall up to like 3 3/4 inches or so on, then you have a lot of dead space in the top. So what I'm hoping to do is fix that by adding extra shelves, and then we're going to add lights throughout the cabinet as opposed to just putting one main light at the top so that the light is evenly spread throughout the cabinet. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is take a look at the supplies that we're going to be using. So the first thing that you're going to need, obviously, is the cabinet itself. It's called a DETOLF cabinet. I hope I'm saying that right. And it's from Ikea. It costs about $60 US. It comes in 2 different colors. It comes in a white, which is what we're going to be using. And then it also comes in like their black-brown color. The next thing that you're going to need is some 3 16th inch wire rope clips. These come in a variety of different ways. My local Home Depot had them for about $2.50 for 3 of them in a pack. And you're going to need 4 of these for every extra shelf that you're going to add in addition to the 3 shelves that it already comes with. The next thing that I got was some 4-inch zip ties. I picked the clear white color just to kind of blend in a little better with what we're going to be doing. And you just need these to tidy up your wires once we put in the lights. And speaking of lights, I got the commercial electric lights from Home Depot. They come in 12-inch ropes, and it comes with 4. And it has everything included that you need in the pack. And this was $32 for the set. And I've already tested them out, make sure that there's no blown out lights. And these are going to go 1 in each of the standard 3 cabinets and then 1 at the top in order to hold and spread the light throughout the entire cabinet. So finally, the last thing that you need is the extra shelves. Now that can be a little bit of a challenge. I got lucky and found a guy online who was throwing some shelves away that he said that I could have for free. But if you don't have that option, I definitely suggest that when you go to Ikea to pick up your DETOLF cabinet, that you ask at the as-is counter or at the customer service desk if they have any extra, because they do break in shipping, and you may get lucky and they may have some extras that you can either have or they will sell you for cheap. Oh, and one final thing that I suggest. If you're going to be putting this thing together, you definitely want to get some help. All right, so now that we've taken a look at everything that we need, let's go build this thing. The first thing that I recommend that you do is go through and clean all of the glass first. I did not do that. I cleaned the glass later on, and it was much more difficult than if I had done it before I started putting the cabinet together. Once you get the iron rods onto the base to hold the shelves on, you can use your extra set of hands to hold the back glass piece while you put in the sides, and then after that it pretty much holds itself up. You come back through and add the top on, and you shouldn't need any more help after that. Once you get the shelves slid in, you can start working on the lights. This took me the longest out of all of the steps just because I wanted everything to be pretty perfect. If you get the same lights that I got, the wires come in 3 different configurations. You have 1 short wire, 1 splitter, and 2 long cables. So I used the short cable first for the first shelf at the bottom, and then the splitter on the second, and then the 2 longer ones at the top. And this seemed to work out pretty well. I would do it that way again. And then once you have everything lined up how you want it to and the lights installed, you can go back through and zip tie all of the wires to that iron rod on the inside, or steel rod, whatever it is, and hide them away pretty easily, and it looks pretty good. For adding the extra shelves, I measured between each of the standard shelves. And for me, it was about 7.5 inches, so I made little marks and then went back through and added the wire rope clips. And I highly recommend that you get something to protect your shelves from rubbing up against the rope clamps. For me, I just got like the little furniture padding, the chair padding that you put on the bottom of chairs. And then finally, you install the door. And then you have the final product. The shelves went in pretty easy, a little easier than I thought that they were going to. I had a little trouble with the door. I had to swap it around a couple of times. But other than that, it went together pretty smooth. It took a little longer than I thought it was going to, about 2.5 hours. But I did stop a few times and stuff like that. So really it was not too bad. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I'm actually going to take a break and then come back, probably rearrange some of the furniture down here, fill it up with models, and then I'll show you guys the final product. All right, so here's a look at the final product all put together, filled up with some of my favorite painted miniatures that I've done over the years. The first shelf up there had my Ultramarines, then I have some Sigmar stuff, my Relic Blade, Guild Ball. In the middle of there, the big Titan, he needs to be painted still, but everything else fits in there really well. Got some X-Wing, some Armada down at the bottom. You can see with the extra shelves just how much more you can fit in there when you're using or when you're displaying little things. And the lights throughout the cabinet really add like an extra element in there. Alright guys, that is the DETOLF cabinet built and modified. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Really helps us out a lot. Also make sure that you share it amongst your communities. Other people may find it helpful as well. If you have any suggestions on future videos, or if you have any videos that you would like featured on our page, leave us a comment in the comment section down below, or you can hit us up on one of our social media pages and we can get you hooked up that way. Well, that's all from me. I'll see you in the next video.